Good afternoon. My name is John, and I am a YouTube animator in Tribe 54, Sweat Lodge 12. Are you in need of any content today, sir? Like many young lads during the summer, I've been to camp before. I think that's the one shared thing that most parents force their kids to do during the summer. That or some form of sport. But instead of being forced into it during the summer, I was forced into it during school. How does that even work? Well, sit down and let me tell you. My school arranged a week-long field trip to a camping ranch, but only for students who had a high GPA. I don't mean to brag or anything, but I was a pretty decent student back then. Barely. I was around 12 years old when I went, and it was pretty much what you'd expect from any normal camp. Mosquitoes that try to kill you, extremely tall trees, unenthused teenage counselors. It was perfect. After signing in, the counselors would assign you to separate groups. Their camp also had a couple of fun outdoor activities to offer, like field sports, archery, and canoeing. But before we dive into my stories about the activities, I first want to talk about the sleeping conditions there. At the camp, everyone had to sleep on rickety wooden bunk beds. And guess who got to sleep on the top? Not me. But most of, if not all of the bunk beds were laid out in a single room, which meant that most of us had to share a single room together. Now, would you believe me if I told you that I was able to sleep there with no problems at all? No? Good, because everyone there was super freaking loud. All the other guys in the room kept talking and laughing at each other loudly all throughout the night. All while I sat there with my eyes wide open trying to fall asleep through the noise.
I wanna go home now.
For my older sister, it was even worse when she went there a year before me. When she attended the same camp, my mom went with her as a chaperone. And just like I mentioned before, the sleeping conditions were pretty much the same for her. So much so, in fact, that one night, everyone in her room was being loud enough to the point where my mom had to barge into her room one night to quiet them all down. Quiet! Anyway, with that topic out of the way, let's dive into my activity stories. This one time, I was with my camping group of 5 or 6 people, and we were all doing the canoeing activity with another group. We were all going to paddle around a small, C-shaped lake with our group leading and the other group following. As we all paddled through the lake, we began to hear yelling from the group behind us. What could they be yelling for? So we all turned around and saw that their entire canoe was slowly sinking, and our group, whose canoe was still standing, was just sitting there, watching them drown. Now granted, they weren't in any danger at all, we were all wearing life vests, but they were still sinking and yelling at us for help. We just sat there and watched, like a couple of village NPCs or something. And after a while, my group just continued paddling as if nothing happened. You know, as you do in that situation. Why didn't you do anything to help? Well, their canoe was sinking. What do you expect us to do? Use our paddles? If Jack couldn't fit on the door, I doubt the 5th graders would fit on the paddle. Long story short, they all swam back to shore safely, and our group continued paddling around the lake. The next story I have involves playing soccer. I was the goalie in a small game of 10 players, and the ball was moving closer to my team's side. This one girl on the other team had the ball, and she was preparing to shoot into my goal. I was locked in, focusing on her every move. There's absolutely no way she's scoring a point on me. Yep, right in the noggin. She kicked the ball full force into my face. And to top it off, I was wearing sunglasses when this happened. Not only did she kick the ball into my face, but it also left a very noticeable red mark. Amazing! Imagine getting a sunburn on your face but forgetting to take off your sunglasses. It looked exactly like that. She quickly approached me afterwards and immediately apologized. And I never forgave her for it. That's a joke, okay, it was fine. Still really hurt though. Looking back at all these stories, I realized that they were very small moments within the overall camp experience. I actually had a very fun time there when I went, and those stories did nothing to change that. If anything, it made the trip more memorable. Except for that last one. It was very painful. So in conclusion, if you ever find yourself at a camp similar to mine, just remember to have fun and bring earplugs. Alrighty, that is the end of the video. Thank you all so much for watching and for sending me some epic fan art. Seriously, you guys are amazing. I love doing this for you and I love seeing what you guys send me. Just thank you. Alright then. End video.